What do you think so far? How are you? Good Wednesday to you. 27th day of May 2020. I am Dan Coots. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Thanks for starting the day with us here on the NCW Life channel. Got lots of good stuff to get your Wednesday up and going. It's going to be another beautiful day today. Very sunny, very warm, borderline hot by the time we get to the weekend. And then, oops, maybe a thunderstorm or two. It's a possibility. In fact, they've increased the chance of either rain or a thunderstorm this weekend. Forecast details are coming up. Got a lot of news to get to in the back half of the hour. It is volume 4 of Beth's Backyard Briefs. Beth Stipe, the executive director of the Community Foundation in North Central Washington, has been practicing safe social distancing, as you well know, but she's still keeping us in the loop on all the good things that the Community Foundation does. So she's been taping updates from her backyard, thus the name, Beth's Backyard Briefs. We'll have the 4th installment of that series coming up later on in the show. And we did it. We finally got to 80 degrees. It happened yesterday shortly after 3 o'clock. We got 80 degrees. Friendly reminder, they keep all of these statistics, all of the official weather measurements, be it temperature or humidity or wind or dew point, all that stuff. It's all kept up at Payne-Moore Memorial Airport because you have to have it somewhere. It's all computerized. It's up to date. Pretty cool stuff. And we did it. We finally got to 80 degrees yesterday. That's the first time we got to 80 or above 80 since Saturday, September 7th of last year. Our streak of 262 days without hitting 80 has come to an end. And it took a long time. Normally, early May is when we hit 80 for the first time. It took a while, but we got there. It's been a cooler than normal spring, but boy, is Mother Nature going to play catch up with the temperatures this week. Details are coming up. All right, a couple minutes after the hour. Let's take our tour around North Central Washington with our Valley View cameras. All of these views courtesy of Localtel Sky-Fi high-speed wireless setup. Once again, an absolutely gorgeous morning. I don't see a cloud in the sky. We're at 53 degrees. We're looking at mid-80s today. Beautiful day. My air conditioning works. I'm liking that. Columbia River is running high. It's running cold. We'll have a special report on that with sports, because when it gets really warm really quickly, people are just attracted like moths to a candlelight to the water. Probably not a good idea unless you have a swimming pool or something like that. Then you're fine. You have a controlled environment. But not a good idea to go jumping in swift-moving water. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. Boy, gorgeous morning this morning here in the valley. Camera number 2, let's head up to Rondo Rock. One of the few cameras that's not actually attached to a Sky-Fi tower. That's pretty low. It's a standalone camera pointing right down the Wenatchee Valley. Significant snow melt I've noticed over the last couple of days up in the Mission Ridge area. They're just hanging on to the last vestiges of snow. You look at that angle, I mean, you look at that view there, you see the Columbia River, Lake Antioch, if you will. That's at about 725 feet above sea level. Way off in the distance, you can see Mission Ridge, which was at the summit of Mission Ridge, which is almost 7,000 feet above sea level. That's pretty cool. Good morning to our friends in the Rondo Rock area. Camera number 3. Good morning to Cashmere. How you doing, Cashmere? Always good to see you. Hey, that's a reminder. But before I forget about this, if you're going to be traveling on Highway 2 in Cashmere, today and tomorrow they're going to install a new power line at the intersection of the highway and Hay Canyon Road. As you know, they're ripping out the old Goodwin Bridge. They're expected to tear that down sometime next month into July. But while they're at it, they're going to go ahead, the PUD is going to go ahead and run power lines at the intersection of Hay Canyon Road and Highway 2, which is where the Goodwin Bridge spills out onto the highway. So look for delays today. It's today and tomorrow. Delays of about 15 minutes between 7 a.m. and 5 p.m. Again, this is at the intersection of Hay Canyon Road and Highway 2, where the Goodwin Bridge is, and will soon be gone. Might as if they're going to run power lines, now's a good time to do it. So just a heads up on that. It's going to be today and tomorrow. Camera number 4. Are we up to 4, Megan? I've lost track. Wow. Hello. That's good looking stuff. That's Lake Wenatchee we're seeing. What camera is that? Is that something new? Oh, Nanapoc Ridge. Wow. Good morning, Lake Wenatchee. What's that, Megan? Yeah, wow. This is a camera that is new to me. I've never seen this. I have been many times to the Lake Wenatchee area. I recognize that immediately. Dirty Face Mountain, which is an incredible view. Wow, that is neat. You can see If you look very carefully, just below the middle of your screen, you can make out the Kaler Glen Golf Course. Wow, we're going to go back to that camera on any number of occasions. What a spectacular view of beautiful Lake Wenatchee. Good stuff, Megan. Way to throw me for a loop. I like being surprised, so long as it doesn't surprise me. 6 minutes after the hour, again, thunderstorms is a concern this weekend. Yeah, in fact, they have increased the chances of a thunderstorm, especially on Saturday night, late Saturday into Saturday night. Still going to be warm. We're going to be in the 90s, but there's going to be just enough instability in the atmosphere that they are getting more and more concerned about the potential of a thunderstorm. Obviously, then you're talking about heavy rain, lightning bad, heavy rain not so bad, so long as it's not a deluge in the canyons. It washes down into the various ditches and culverts. That's no good. We've had that before. But the big problem there is lightning. We don't want lightning, but thunderstorms, absolutely a possibility this weekend, which is why we wanted to show you that slide courtesy of the National Weather Service. Patriot Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling gives your home a hug. Here we go. 85 today after 80 yesterday. I still can't believe we finally got it to 80 degrees. I don't think we were ever going to get there. And then we just keep right on warming up. 54 for the overnight low tonight. Sunshine near 90 on Thursday with just a couple of passing clouds. 61 for the overnight low Thursday night. They're going to climb up to the mid-90s on Friday. Whew. Yeah, baby. 65 for the overnight low. I don't mind the heat. I have no problems with that. Saturday, here come the clouds. As the day progresses, the clouds are going to start coming in late Friday night, probably while you're sleeping is when the clouds will start rolling in. We're not looking at any sunshine on Saturday, but still a high of 92. And when you have no sunshine but a high of 92, that means relative humidity is going to be up there. And so as we go deeper and deeper into Saturday and we start warming up, our chance of a thunderstorm increases, the chance of showers increases. As you see, we have a 40% chance of rain, so going to be a muggy, sticky Saturday. It's going to feel more like Dade County instead of Chelan County, 55 for the overnight low. Then Sunday, partly cloudy, chance of rain, but there is a chance, and this is the most critical thing here in this forecast, Saturday night is the best chance of a thunderstorm. It doesn't show up there, but Saturday night, we're looking at showers likely, the possibility of a thunderstorm, overnight lows in the mid-50s. There's a 70% chance of precipitation on Saturday night. That goes down, as you see there, to 40% by Sunday, and then we cool down. Look at the look at the temperature difference between Saturday, 92, and Sunday, 75. Almost a 20-degree difference at our afternoon highs, and back down to normal with lots of sunshine on Monday and Tuesday. So it's going to get warm, and then warmer, and then hot again on Saturday. Instability in the atmosphere means the possibility of a thunderstorm Saturday night. Sunday, partly cloudy. By the way, on Sunday, the clouds and that chance of rain mostly on Sunday morning. So if you have outdoor plans on Sunday afternoon, you should be good to go. And certainly that 75-degree temperature on Sunday is a lot more comfortable than 95 on Friday. So that's your forecast as we glide through this Wednesday. Going to take a break and come back and bring you the news. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley live this morning from Studio 2 in downtown Wenatchee on the NCW Life channel.
Need a break from reality? Central Washington Water has a showroom full of possibilities, with service and support to keep you soaking and giving you the absolute best ownership experience. Free flow plug-and-go spas for as little as $45 a month. There's a hot tub for everyone at Central Washington Water. Shop screen to screen, in-store, or a backyard consultation with one of our wellness team members. Central Washington Water, your water experts.
It's estimated that 1/3 of Americans do not have a financial plan. At D.A. Davidson, their advisors are working to change that because they understand the importance of planning for the future. At D.A. Davidson, they believe in partnering together to build a strategy tailored to your needs. They spend the time and have the knowledge to help keep your financial future on track. Let D.A. Davidson Financial Advisors of Wenatchee put the strength of advice to work for you.
We're back at 10 minutes after the hour. Clear skies, 53 degrees, mid-80s today, upper 80s Thursday, mid-90s on Friday, and then maybe a thunderstorm or two come Saturday. Here's what's making news. That lawsuit filed last Friday by the group of local businesses, government, and church leaders in Chelan County that's seeking to strip Governor Jay Inslee of his COVID-19 emergency powers and lift restrictions imposed under his stay home, stay healthy orders. That lawsuit in Chelan County was delayed yesterday afternoon. A hearing was supposed to be heard Tuesday in Chelan County Superior Court before Judge Travis Brandt. That was canceled at the request of the State Attorney General's office. The AG's office has also requested that Judge Brandt recuse himself and that the suit be moved to Thurston County. That's where the state capital of Olympia is located. The lawsuits filed in Chelan and Douglas County Superior Courts claim Inslee was granted the emergency powers when there were fears that the COVID-19 pandemic would create a surge of cases that would overwhelm hospitals and other healthcare facilities. No word on whether the motions filed yesterday in Chelan County will affect a similar lawsuit filed at the same time in Douglas County Superior Court. Speaking of courts, Chelan County's youngest Superior Court judge is the first public official in the Wenatchee Valley known to have fallen ill with the coronavirus. Judge Kristen Ferreira, she's 40 years old. She announced last week she's tested positive for COVID-19. She underwent testing after exhibiting a dry cough. She has not returned to hear cases in Chelan County Law and Justice Center since her diagnosis on Friday, and she says she won't do so until she's cleared by her doctors. Ferreira is one of 3 Superior Court judges in Chelan County. She served on the bench since 2018. She also heads the county's drug court. Superior courts statewide have taken precautions against the coronavirus, including limiting the number of cases they hear and canceling jury trials until the pandemic has lifted. Local leaders say they're moving forward towards proactive community-wide testing for COVID-19 throughout the Wenatchee Valley. A coalition, including local hospitals, clinics, and the Chelan Douglas Health District, said they want to test 250 random households in Wenatchee, East Wenatchee, Cashmere, and Leavenworth to establish what the baseline rate of infection is for the 2-county area. Data gathered by the sampling method would help the counties move towards a phase 2 reopening of services under Jay Inslee's stay home, stay healthy order. Of course, everybody wants a return to something like normal after the COVID-19 crisis has passed, but epidemiologists say that can't happen without contact tracing. That's mapping out the relationships between the coronavirus patients and those people they may have exposed. Congresswoman Kim Schreier says under a bill she's proposed, contact tracing could be a national service. Our very own Jefferson Robbins filed this report.
So the proposal that I put forward, again, is something that I just love. First, I love the notion of national service. And frankly, if it were up to me, I would even put some requirements there that, if you're a young person growing up in Seattle, your national service, if you choose to do that, should probably be on a farm in Iowa. And similarly, if you grew up, in very rural Alabama, your national service could be at a food bank in San Francisco. I think that this country needs to have better understanding geographically, red state, blue state, you name it, and this would do tremendous good. Now, at this particular moment, we could employ national service for contact tracing. We could bring in all these young people who just graduated from high school. They're so smart. They've got the training. It doesn't take that much training to be able to contact trace in your own community. We can use Peace Corps workers, AmeriCorps workers, and bring in even college students who are coming into a terrible job market and recruit those minds. And you know what? Maybe they'll get the bug for public service and for public health, and then go on to careers in public health, which we need anyway. I'm super excited, and I hope that comes either as a standalone bill or when we sit down with the Senate.
So what's voting and meeting in the House like right now? You came in pre-pandemic times, which seems like years ago now, but it wasn't very long. And now you're dealing with this crisis as a legislator. So what's different between when you started and how you have to conduct business in the House right now?
Well, a lot of the way that we function in Congress is in person. When we're on the floor of the House and we're voting, there's time between votes to talk with our colleagues, both sides of the aisle. Hey, I've got this bill I'm working on. I've got this idea. Do you want to join me? And we're missing that. We're missing those informal person-to-person conversations. And even when we went back last week and we had time to vote on the floor, for public health reasons, they had it so only about 20 of us were in the chamber at any given time with masks, hand sanitizer, you name it. So we really wouldn't encounter each other. That was the whole idea. So a lot of our encounters now are in meetings like this or in phone calls. And now we just voted to have proxy voting so that we don't have to travel across the country spreading this disease or catching this disease. And also to be able to have committee meetings just like this so that we can see each other. C-SPAN can still record what we're saying. We can have a robust discussion and debate about policy.
Thank you very much for that report, Jefferson. A climber who fell near the top of the old Butte Pinnacle on Memorial Day had to be rescued by crews from the Chelan County Sheriff's Office and Chelan County Fire District Number 1. The fire district reports that the hiker was injured and unable to get down the mountain on his own. The high-angle rope rescue team from the Sheriff's Office and the technical rescue team from the fire district were able to reach the man, who eventually was treated and subsequently released. And finally this morning, Moses Lake Police broke through fortified doors and windows early yesterday morning to serve a search warrant at College Apartments at 4740 Grape Drive Northeast in Moses Lake. Police arrested 35-year-old Ryan Runnels after reportedly finding a stolen shotgun with the barrel sawed off inside the apartment. Police said Runnels is a 7-time convicted felon who's been arrested 33 times over the years, and he's only 35 years old. This time, the Moses Lake Regional Tactical Response Team broke its way into his apartment at about 4:15 in the morning, found the shotgun, which had been stolen in Adams County, as well as small amounts of heroin and methamphetamine. Runnels faces charges of possession of a stolen firearm, a felon in possession of a firearm, and possession of a short barrel shotgun. And that's a look at what's making news on this Wednesday morning as we get to the 18-minute after the hour mark. The news tonight. Grant Olson in the anchor chair with a little preview of what we're working on for news tonight at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock. Here's the man himself.
Good morning, Dan. Coming up tonight on the NCW Life Evening News, through June 30th, all donations to Wenatchee Valley Humane Society will be matched up to $2,500 by the Petco Foundation. We'll tell you more about that. I'll have your very summer-like North Central Washington weather forecast, and Eric Granstrom will have a look at the day's sports. That and all the day's news coming up tonight at 5, 6, and 10 on the NCW Life Evening News. We hope to see you then. Dan?
Absolutely. I make an appointment to watch the news, and I watch it on my smart TV, so I can settle down at like 5:39 and 27 seconds and bring up the news. You can do that. It's available on demand by going to our website. In fact, if you go to our website, you'll notice the Contact Us icon at the top of the screen. You can click on that, and a form pops up. You can either submit a news tip that goes right to the news team, or you can just drop us a note and say hi. Again, that's by going to ncwlife.com. If you want to email us directly, our email address is news@ncwlife.com, or if you want to drop us a line via Facebook Messenger, by golly, we have a Facebook page. As you might imagine, drop us a line via Facebook Messenger and give us an old thumbs up while you're there. Why am I talking like that? Going to take a break at 19 minutes after the hour. We're talking sports in 1 minute, or whatever sports we can cobble together. Sports is a minute away. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Hi, my name is Manuel Navarro, Chief Operating Officer at Columbia Valley Community Health. Patient safety is our top priority, including providing care that just can't wait. With enhanced safety precautions, we want to ensure you that we're able to continue providing safe and efficient in-person care at our clinic. From in-car check-in, ongoing screening, immediate rooming, your family can get the safe care that they deserve here at Columbia Valley Community Health.
Hi, I'm Chelan County Commissioner Kevin Overbay. I urge all of you to stay home, stay healthy, and stay safe. You can help our community out by urging your friends and relatives from other parts of the Northwest to please stay home. We have a beautiful county with places that people like to visit, but their visits are putting a strain on our resources, our first responders, and our health professionals. Please help us get the message out. We love visitors, but wait until we've gotten through the coronavirus pandemic to come see us. I know that this community will do all that they can to help us get through the coronavirus. Thank you, and be well.
Back at it now at 55 degrees. If you're just joining us, we're going to be in the mid-80s today, upper 80s to near 90 on Thursday, mid-90s on Friday. And then some thunderstorms in the forecast, perhaps on Saturday, and certainly Saturday night. 20 minutes after the hour, the Pac-12 Conference announcing yesterday it will allow voluntary in-person athletic workouts for all sports, and that begins on June 15th. Of course, the move is subject to the decision of each individual campus, and where it's permissible by relevant governmental entities. Under Governor Jay Inslee's Safe Start plan, Washington State is using a staged approach to reopening, so small gatherings of no more than 5 people are permitted in Phase 2. Now, the home counties for Pac-12 schools in Washington would have to reach Phase 4 before practice could resume. Of course, King County is home to the Huskies. They haven't reached Phase 2 yet. Isn't expected to reach Phase 2 until July, so practice could be a while yet for you Husky fans out there. Wazoo, you're in Whitman County, which is already in Phase 2 on their way, they hope, to Phase 4. The phase control in Washington could also put the Seahawks behind the 8 ball a little bit. They want to get going in Renton. Right now they can't. Yahoo Sports reported Tuesday NFL sources said coaches could be back in team buildings as soon as next week, and that could lead to players on the field for team mini camps by late June. But that puts the Seahawks in a unique spot because under the current restrictions in our state, Pete Carroll and his coaching staff won't be allowed into the facility until later in June. Now, up to now, the NFL has stated it will not resume full on-field training for players until every one of its 32 teams are permitted by local authorities to do so. The league said it does not want a competitive disadvantage. Say the Dolphins and the Buccaneers and the Jaguars, they could be fully operating in Florida while the Seahawks are shut down in the state of Washington. ESPN has chosen Russell Wilson, U.S. soccer star Megan Rapinoe, and Seattle Storm guard Sue Bird to host the ESPYs, the virtual ESPYs, which are going to be held next month. Normally, the ESPYs are about celebrating and reliving some memorable sporting achievements over the past year, but as part of the tweaks to this year's format because of the COVID-19 pandemic, quote, the show is celebrating heroism and humanitarian aid, end quote. Among the awards that will be presented, the Arthur Ashe Award for Courage, the Pat Tillman Award for Service, the Jimmy V Award for Perseverance, the Billie Jean King Youth Leadership Award, and the Muhammad Ali Sports Humanitarian Award. The 2020 ESPYs will be on ESPN, no surprise there, on Sunday, June 21st, the first day of summer. Major League Baseball made an economic proposal to the Players Union Tuesday, and the players say we are extremely disappointed. The plan included a sliding scale proposal that would pay a greater percentage of salaries to the lower wage earners in baseball, while the multimillionaires would get less. The proposal was different than the 50-50 revenue sharing plan that the owners initially approved earlier this month. Salaries in the Major League range from $563,500, that's the minimum wage, to $36 million. That's what Mike Trout and Garrett Cole make a year. Players agreed to a deal in March in which they would receive prorated shares of their salaries based on the percentage of games played. In addition, the union said the sides also remained far apart on health and safety protocols aimed at starting the pandemic-delayed season around Independence Day. Well, with warmer temperatures this week, in fact, downright hot by Friday, folks are more apt to head to the water's edge to cool off. But wait a minute, our very own Eric Granstrom says, hold tight just a minute.
If you're headed towards a moving body of water, such as the Columbia River or the Wenatchee River, to try to cool off, be careful. The water is really cold. We have a lot of snow melt in the higher elevations. That's rushing down these streams right now, has resulted in higher stream flows, so it's really ripping. I was on the Columbia over the weekend, and the water temperature at the surface was just 53 degrees on Sunday. That is cold. So just a word to the wise, if you head out to the water to try to cool off this week, and keep an eye on the youngsters as well, it's awfully easy to literally and figuratively get in over your head.
Good advice from Eric. And finally, a quick little rundown of our sports schedule for the rest of the week. Join us tomorrow night at 7 o'clock Thursday night. As always, hockey night here. We got the Wenatchee Wild and the Chilliwack Chiefs from the RBC Cup from May of 2018. Friday night, we got Big Nine volleyball from last fall between the Panthers and the Chiefs at 7 o'clock. Saturday's double feature begins at 2 with Wenatchee and Eastmont boys soccer from 2018. And then at 7 o'clock, it's more from the 2018 RBC Cup with Wenatchee facing the Steinbach Pistons. And that's a look at sports. At 25 minutes after the hour, I had 3 obscure holidays to choose from. Today is National Senior Health and Fitness Day. I'm all for that. Today is National Grape Popsicle Day. I love grape popsicles, except if you get them on your white shirt, you can pretty much kiss that shirt goodbye. But nope, we're going to go with National Cellophane Tape Day. Almost everybody refers to it as Scotch tape, which was invented and developed by Richard Drew. It's not, Scotch tape, of course, is a trademark, but it's still considered, you know, when you go to the store, where's the Scotch tape? You mean cellophane tape is what it means. The reason it came to be known as Scotch tape is Scotch used to be a slang term for stingy. And when they first started experimenting with cellophane tape, it didn't stick very well. And one of the people in the development at 3M said, "Take this back to your Scotch bosses and tell them to make it better." And the name Scotch kind of stuck around. We love cellophane tape because it holds things together. Yeah, tape. I don't even think I have any. Make a little note, run to the store. Yes, happy National Cellophane Tape Day today. Always celebrated on May 27th because the internet told me so. 27 minutes after the hour. Happy birthday to the Chrysler Building, and there it is. 1,046 feet tall. It opened for business on this date 90 years ago today, May 27th, 1930. It was, at the time, the tallest man-made structure on Earth. That lasted for exactly 11 months until the Empire State Building opened, and then the Chrysler Building lost that title. It's still, however, the tallest brick building in the world, and the Chrysler Company was never actually involved in the construction or the ownership of the building. Walter P. Chrysler, who owned the Chrysler Company, it was his baby. He built it, even though Chrysler had their corporate headquarters there. The Chrysler Building is named after Walter P. Chrysler, not the Chrysler Company. It's a cool building, a lot of Art Deco stuff. I've been there, it's really neat. And it's 90 years old today. Happy birthday to the Chrysler Building. Happy birthday to the Golden Gate Bridge. That ain't it. There you go. The Golden Gate Bridge opened on this date 83 years ago today. There's the actual video of the opening ceremonies connecting San Francisco and Marion County, California. And it opened on this date 83 years ago today, back in 1937. It took 4.5 years to build it because the Department of War owned the land on both sides of the Golden Gate Bridge. It had to authorize the construction of the bridge. They did. In 1930, during the planning stages of the Golden Gate Bridge, there were over 2,000 lawsuits opposing the building of the bridge, led by the company that had the ferry service between the bridge. We don't want to lose that business. They didn't win, as you might imagine. 19 workers who fell from the bridge during the construction of the Golden Gate Bridge, but were saved by the netting that they stretched below. They were known as members of the Halfway to Hell Club. And it is the second most popular bridge in the world, behind only the Brooklyn Bridge, but it is the most photographed bridge in the world, the Golden Gate Bridge, and it is spectacular. Opened on the state 83 years ago today. Centralia, Pennsylvania, you saw briefly, there it is. It was on this day back in 1962, May 27th, 1962, 58 years ago today. They don't know what started the fire. They had their landfill, their garbage dump, and that was sitting above a coal mine, and somehow a fire got started. Again, this was 58 years ago. It's still burning today. It will continue to burn, they tell us, for another 250 years. The cause of the fire has never been determined. The population of Centralia, Pennsylvania, when the fire broke out in 1962, was around 1,500 people. The population of Centralia, Pennsylvania today is 5. And those 5 people are in charge of keeping people away from the fire, which will burn for another 250 years. Oops. And finally, a foul win for the Mariners, one of my favorites. It was 39 years ago today, May 27, 1981. At the Kingdome in Seattle, Kansas City Royal outfielder Amos Otis hits a slow roller down the third base line in the top of the 6th inning, and then this happened.
Otis, right-handed hitter against reliever Larry Anderson. Fastball tapped at the plate. It'll trickle down the third baseline. The Mariners are going to let it roll. Lenny Randall gets down on his hands and knees and blows on it like a curler, and it goes foul. Randall puts on quite a show, and here comes Jim Fry out, and he's going to protest with home plate umpire Larry McCoy that Randall cannot get down and influence the direction of the baseball. A little full swing trickler by Otis down the third baseline. It looked like it might just stay fair, and Randall coming in. Make you forget Laurel and Hardy in a hurry, and he comes in. looked like your basic man with a broom. The curler out on the ice and blows it foul.
I have never seen that before in baseball. If this is allowed, Kenny, that will be part of the arsenal, I'm sure, of the third baseman from now on, especially on AstroTurf. They may give him the base, and I think that's exactly what they're going to do.
Yeah, they gave him the base. You can't do that. You got to admire his moxie, but manipulating how the ball moves with your body, regardless of how you do it, is against the rules. But Lainey Randall gave it a good try on this date back in 1981. And finally, birthdays. Wild Bill Hickok. This is a guy who basically made up his own legend. I mean, he was a lawman, of course. A legendary figure in the Old West. Born in the state in 1837. Had the misfortune of playing poker one day back in 1876 when he was shot from behind and killed. And since then, of course, the dead man's hand for you poker players is a pair of aces and a pair of eights, which is what he was holding when he was killed back in 1876 at the age of 39. The legend of Wild Bill Hickok, as most historians will tell you, was pretty much made up by Wild Bill Hickok. But hey, if you can write your own story, little embellishment, never hurt anybody. He was born in the state in 1837. Sammy Snead, slamming Sammy Snead. His swing was considered absolutely immaculate. He was a great golfer. His 82 victories on the PGA Tour are tied for the most all-time. He and Tiger Woods are tied with 82 career victories. Sammy Snead never won the U.S. Open. He won the Masters. He won the Open Championship in Great Britain. He won the PGA Championship a bunch of times. Never won the U.S. Open. Finished runner-up 4 times. But he was still a great golfer and considered one of the most immaculate swings in all of golf. The great Sammy Snead, born 108 years ago today, died at the age of 89 in 2002. Henry Kissinger is celebrating his 97th birthday today. Henry Kissinger, one of the great diplomats in American history. He won the Nobel Prize. Henry Kissinger. My favorite quote from Henry Kissinger, by the way, he's 97 years old today, and presidents still consult him. Well, President Trump doesn't, but right through President Obama, they were consulting Henry Kissinger on what's going on in the world of international diplomacy. But my favorite quote from Henry Kissinger said, "The nice part about being famous is that when you're in a boring conversation, they think it's their fault." Henry Kissinger is 97 years old today. And a couple of Baseball Hall of Famers are exact contemporaries. Jeff Bagwell, the great first baseman for the Houston Astros, is 52 years old today. He was inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame on merit in 2017. And Frank Thomas, the Big Hurt, one of my favorite baseball nicknames of all time is the Big Hurt. Frank Thomas, he is also 52 years old today. Yeah, he and Bagwell were born on the exact same day. And Frank Thomas also inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame in 2014 on his first appearance on the ballot. So happy birthday to Bags and the Big Hurt. They're both 52 years old today. Yeah, I miss baseball. I really do. 33 minutes after the hour. Going to take a break. Mike Magnotti's got an opinion. And then we'll check in again with Beth Stipe. It's Volume 4 of the continuing series from Beth Stipe. It's Beth's Backyard Briefs from the Community Foundation in North Central Washington. That's coming up as well. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Is search engine optimization right for my business? Maybe. Studies show the first and second search results get 50% of all the clicks. But you have to fight national chains to get there. If the user has to scroll down to find you, tough luck. You could hide a dead body on page 2 and the whole zombie apocalypse on page 3. Or you could spend less and get an ad in the Impact Big Print phone book, giving local businesses a chance to shine.
Impact Directories. Bigger print, better book.
Contractors, furniture makers, and weekend do-it-yourselfers around North Central Washington will tell you that Lombard's Hardwood Supply is the place to get what you need. Lombard's full millwork shop can handle jobs large or small. Lombard's has a full line of interior and exterior doors available, as well as custom barn doors. From alderwood to zebrawood and everything in between, it's Lombard's Hardwood Supply on School Street in Sunny Slope. Like us on Facebook and check out our monthly special.
Opioids are now one of the leading causes of injury-related deaths in Washington state. More people die from overdose than from car crashes. Between 2012 and 2016, more than 3,300 lives in Washington were lost to opioid overdose. We are all part of the solution. Your choices matter. If you are prescribed an opioid pain medication, talk with your doctor about other options, and don't share your prescriptions with other people. It starts with you. Learn more at getthefaxrx.com.
Get your yard sign or banner made for your graduating senior today. Order from your local sign company, Color FX in Cashmere. Banners, signs, and more. Call Color FX today. Weeds Cafe fresh made breakfast, lunch, and lattes are still available for takeout. Call ahead, order online, or stop on by. Support this local business, Weeds Cafe.
Bonfile Boats and Motors is open. Following social distancing practices, Bonfiles is open for service and sales.
I have a hereditary bone disease from the female side of my family. My bone loss was so significant that you could almost see the roots. I became embarrassed and I started covering my mouth. Eating became very difficult as far as I stopped eating apples, corn on the cob, things that you just eat as it is without utensils. Dr. Divis was my dentist prior to having implants. We talked about traditional dentures or implants, and implants was the only way really that I could go. John Divis and all of his office staff, they checked on me throughout all the processes. I would never go anyplace else. Today, I can eat corn on the cob. I can have apples. Thanks to Dr. John Divis and his staff, I have my smile back. I feel more confident. I am me again.
This is John Divis. Let our team help you solve your dental needs.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog McNally, and everybody's entitled to my opinion. Now, over the past few years, I've heard increasing criticism of a company we know as Goodwill. Now, this criticism runs like this. Goodwill's paying nothing for the merchandise that they retail. They pay their employees a pittance and make tons of money in a despicable manner. Now, I can't believe this criticism of whoever this guy is. Whoever the guy is who came up with the idea about Goodwill, he came up with a very creative business plan, offers entry-level work experience to folks who might not get a job anywhere else, offers good prices for the stuff you need, and gives you and I the opportunity to get rid of your junk and get a tax write-off. And I kind of think the criticism of this guy is prompted more by jealousy than any justifiable social outrage. And by the way, the people I've spoken to who work for Goodwill, they like their jobs. This is Mike Mad Dog Magnati, and that's my opinion.
Bring the whole family up to Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house in historic downtown Chelan. Applewood smoked brisket, street-style tacos, and our award-winning barbecue rubs and sauces. Our meals pair perfectly with our exciting lineup of craft ales, made right here in Chelan. We've got room for big groups, or give us a call for catering. So grab the kids and check out the fun at Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house located in the heart of Chelan.
When you call Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, you get 35 years of experience and customer service in the Wenatchee Valley. Dick's friendly staff strongly believe in repairing before replacing and service all major brands of HVAC units. Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning is your local, independent, trained comfort specialists, proudly serving all of North Central Washington. Call 884-6444 today.
Coming home should never be a chore. Let Merry Maids of Wenatchee customize all your cleaning needs. Weekly, bi-weekly, special occasion. Do you have a vacation home that needs cleaning? We clean them too. Locally owned and operated, let Merry Maids do the cleaning while you focus on your family and friends. Merry Maids has special offers to fit your budget. Request your free cleaning estimate today. 509-663-1710.
The world around us is constantly changing. Major employers in North Central Washington have expressed a need for capable, qualified engineering technologists who can think critically and solve problems. And at Wenatchee Valley College, we listened. We are pleased to offer a Bachelor of Applied Science Engineering Technology degree to provide you with a world of new opportunities. Your time is now. The future is waiting for you.
Good morning and welcome to the Cloudy with a Cup of Coffee edition of the Backyard Briefs. I'm Beth Stipe. I'm with the Community Foundation of North Central Washington, and we're here today to thank you for supporting the Community Foundation and our Helping Hands grant program, which is specifically designed to support the ongoing needs of our communities during the COVID-19 crisis, and to tell you about some good things and some other opportunities that are coming up and what's happening with your foundation. First, as always, we want to say thank you to all of you who have helped support our Helping Hands programs or any of the programs at the Community Foundation. We're super grateful for you. And we wanted to give you a Helping Hands update. We have some new things that are happening, but first, some reports back. So we had a couple of reports that came in. During this time, the Community Foundation has suspended all of our reporting requirements, not wanting to overburden our nonprofit partners. But we have asked them if they could just share a nice story or tell us how the funds has helped their organization and their communities. And so we have a couple of those to share with you today. So the first one comes from the Cove in Twisp. And the Cove is the food bank as well as a supporting organization for families who have financial needs and food security needs. And so what we heard back from them is we immediately put the funds to use in our aid and assistance program to help our clients with emergency financial assistance such as rent and utility bills. We have seen our client average of 3 households per week increase to 10 households per week needing this type of financial assistance. That is over and above the over 400 weekend packages of food that they're sending home to children, as well as the tens and dozens of families that they're supporting with food boxes every week. So thank you to the Cove for sharing that report. We also had a nice report from the Chelan Valley Community Nurse Program, and this program has had to go through some adaptations because they're no longer able to meet with their clients one-on-one. But so what we heard back from them is this grant will use the funds to keep going. Rather than cutting back on our meetings and activities, the board has added an additional May meeting, becoming active in the senior Zoom meetings, and members have tasks to fulfill both in assessing the program, record keeping, and in reaching out to various aspects of our Latino community. While we recognize that developing the trust of underserved populations in our community takes time and is particularly challenging during our stay-at-home order, we have a sense of support in our efforts and are restoring our momentum as a result of these funds. All such great stuff to hear back. We also wanted to tell you about some new grants that went out this week. Couple grants that went out this week. The first one is to the Pybus Charitable Foundation, and they're partnering with the Wenatchee Valley Farmers Market. And we're super excited to know that the Farmers Market is up and running and they're doing really well. And we want to thank all of you who are going and supporting our local farmers, and also following all of the rules and being kind and courteous with the social distancing. We know it's a drag, but it's important, and we're super grateful that you're all kind and empathetic to those in line in front of you and behind you. So thank you. But this program is supporting the Fresh Bucks program. And if you don't know anything about the Fresh Bucks program, it's a program that started several years ago where anyone who has SNAP benefits, who is basically on the food assistance program from the government, can use their SNAP benefits at the local farmers market, which is a great thing because it not only helps those families get fresh local produce, but it helps our local farmers and it keeps those dollars local, which is a win-win-win all the way around. Well, in the past, if you spent $5 at the farmers market with your Fresh Bucks program, if you qualified for the program, you would receive an additional $2 to spend at the farmers market. This grant is going to make that an additional $5. So for every dollar you spend, you'll get an additional $1 to spend locally with our local farmers. And we think that's just great. The next thing we'd like to announce that we supported is the Wenatchee for Immigrant Justice Program. And this is a program that is helping support folks in our community who are under the radar or are here working seasonally and who are experiencing needs. And we are providing additional dollar support so that they can help families with food and or housing supports or PPE, which is really great and very important. Finally, since we've been doing these grants for several weeks, we've been listening to the organizations, our nonprofit partners, as well as our advisory board members, and we're going to make a few changes to the criteria, focusing specifically on support for health and safety net programs. So more to come with that. So next up, I'd like to give you an overall update of the Community Foundation for this week. We have a new fiscal year coming up, and so we had a May board meeting where the board approved the budget for 2021, as well as we are getting ready to do our audit for the year 2020. So that's exciting stuff. We also wanted to say thank you to our outgoing trustees. This was their last meeting. We have our outgoing chair of the board, Gil Sparks. He'll remain on as a past chair for 1 year, and then our good friend Craig Homchick, who has spent 9 years on the board, and we will miss him greatly because he is a rock star. We also have new trustees, and you'll hear more about that in the press releases coming up this week, and we're excited because they're great people, and we're excited to have them as part of our team. And so finally, some really important news is that the board decided that they wanted to take a pause on the grant making. We've been reaching out to lots of our nonprofit partners. We've also been listening to our community, and business as usual just didn't seem like it was right. Let's stop the whining. Okay, Clark, here's your moment. So, new grant programs coming, new grant processes coming. Our staff is hard at work at doing those. The fabulously talented Claire Odie is working very hard to determine how to move forward with this and talking to lots of folks and looking at best practices as well as what other community foundations have been doing across the country. And so we'll have that information coming up in a future Backyard Brief, so stay tuned. So finally, most importantly, the most talented and wonderful Miss Jennifer Dolge has put together the annual report. And you can find it on our website at cfncw.org. And it's a beautiful piece with lots of great stories about how your dollars have made a difference in the community. So thank you so much. And we'll look forward to seeing you at our next Backyard Brief.
When you think of Doghouse Motorsports, you might think of motorcycles, but there's a lot more in this house. How about Honda power equipment? From snowblowers to lawnmowers to generators and even water pumps, Honda is the brand that sets the standards. Perhaps you need an ATV or UTV. The Doghouse has the largest selection anywhere. Did we mention watercraft and snowmobiles? And of course, we have motorcycles too. Back it up with terrific customer service and you have Wenatchee's best motorsports store 5 years running. Isn't it time for you to be in the Doghouse?
This is Caitlin Hedersheet, the producer of the NCW Life magazine. Each week, I'm bringing you a look behind the scenes of the faces, places, and events that make North Central Washington the place we call home. Tune in every weekday for an in-depth look at a new topic each week. From local artists in their studios to businesses breaking barriers that might surprise you and everything in between. Join me on the NCW Life magazine right here on the NCW Life channel.
At Harvest Valley Pest Control, we know you are committed to making your home and business a healthy and pest-free place. Hi, I'm David. Give us a call and we'll give you a firm price over the phone and schedule a time that works for you. We will do an in-depth 30-point healthy home or business inspection and craft a customized plan of action designed specifically for your pest issue. Give us a call or visit our website today.
I'm Jenny Rojanasatian, and this is Guada TV. Every week we will be bringing you a first look at North Central Washington business, tech, and education news. You'll hear from local influencers and innovators who live right here in the Valley. Together, we'll discuss hot topics, current events, and resources that can support your business, our schools, and this community. Join me every week, and let's get inspired.
And we are back at 49 minutes after the hour. Clear skies, 55 degrees, warm today, borderline hot. Thursday, just plain hot on Friday, and then a thunderstorm. Very well could happen on Saturday afternoon into Saturday night. We'll give you the forecast details one more time, but first we wanted to repeat our top stories this morning. And we begin with that lawsuit that was filed last Friday by a group of local business, government, and church leaders in Chelan County. That lawsuit is seeking to strip Governor Jay Inslee of his COVID-19 emergency powers and lift restrictions imposed under his stay home, stay healthy orders. Well, that lawsuit in Chelan County was delayed yesterday afternoon. A hearing was supposed to be heard in Chelan County Superior Court before Judge Travis Brandt, but it was canceled at the request of the State Attorney General's office. The AG's office has also requested that Judge Brandt not hear the case and that the suit be moved to Thurston County, where the state capital in Olympia is located. The lawsuits filed in both Chelan and Douglas County Superior Courts claim Inslee was granted the emergency powers when there were fears that the COVID-19 pandemic would create a surge of cases that would overwhelm hospitals and other healthcare facilities. Now, no word on whether the motions filed yesterday in Chelan County will affect a similar lawsuit filed at the same time in Douglas County Superior Court. Speaking of Superior Court, Chelan County's youngest Superior Court judge is the first public official to acknowledge that they have fallen ill here in the Wenatchee Valley to coronavirus. Judge Kristen Ferreira, 40 years old, announcing late last week she has tested positive for COVID-19. She underwent testing after exhibiting a dry cough. She has not returned to hear cases in Chelan County since her diagnosis on Friday, said she won't do so until she's cleared by her doctors. Ferreira is one of 3 Superior Court judges in Chelan County. She has served on the bench since 2018, heads the county's drug court. Superior courts statewide have taken precautions against coronavirus, including limiting the number of cases they hear and canceling jury trials until the pandemic has lifted. Local leaders say they are moving forwards towards proactive community-wide testing for COVID-19 throughout the Wenatchee Valley. A coalition, including local hospitals, clinics, and the Chelan County Health District, says it wants to test 250 random households in Wenatchee, East Wenatchee, Cashmere, and Leavenworth. That way they can establish what the baseline rate of infection is for the 2-county area. Data gathered by the sampling method would help the counties move towards a phase 2 reopening of services under Governor Jay Inslee's stay home, stay healthy order. Finally, this morning, everybody wants to return to something like normal after the COVID-19 crisis has passed, but epidemiologists say that's not going to happen without contact tracing. That's mapping out the relationships between coronavirus patients and those they may have exposed to coronavirus. Congresswoman Kim Schreier says under a bill she's proposed, contact tracing could be a national service. Our very own Jefferson Robbins has more.
So the proposal that I put forward, again, is something that I just love. First, I love the notion of national service. And frankly, if it were up to me, I would even put some requirements there that, if you're a young person growing up in Seattle, your national service, if you choose to do that, should probably be on a farm in Iowa. And similarly, if you grew up, in very rural Alabama, your national service could be at a food bank in San Francisco. I think that this country needs to have better understanding geographically, red state, blue state, you name it, and this would do tremendous good. Now, at this particular moment, we could employ national service for contact tracing. We could bring in all these young people who just graduated from high school. They're so smart. They've got the training. It doesn't take that much training to be able to contact trace in your own community. We can use Peace Corps workers, AmeriCorps workers, and bring in even college students who are coming into a terrible job market and recruit those minds. And you know what? Maybe they'll get the bug for public service and for public health, and then go on to careers in public health, which we need anyway. I'm super excited, and I hope that comes either as a standalone bill or when we sit down with the Senate.
So what's voting and meeting in the House like right now? You came in pre-pandemic times, which seems like years ago now, but it wasn't very long. And now you're dealing with this crisis as a legislator. So what's different between when you started and how you have to conduct business in the House right now?
Well, a lot of the way that we function in Congress is in person. When we're on the floor of the House and we're voting, there's time between votes to talk with our colleagues, both sides of the aisle. Hey, I've got this bill I'm working on. I've got this idea. Do you want to join me? And we're missing that. We're missing those informal person-to-person conversations. And even when we went back last week and we had time to vote on the floor, for public health reasons, they had it so only about 20 of us were in the chamber at any given time with masks, hand sanitizer, you name it. So we really wouldn't encounter each other. That was the whole idea. So a lot of our encounters now are in meetings like this or in phone calls. And now we just voted to have proxy voting so that we don't have to travel across the country spreading this disease or catching this disease. And also to be able to have committee meetings just like this, so that we can see each other. C-SPAN can still record what we're saying. We can have a robust discussion and debate about policy.
And now you're in the loop on this Wednesday, the 27th day of May. We're going to take a quick 1-minute break, come back with one more tour around the Wenatchee Valley and that all-important and very warm weather forecast. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
No calories, no sweeteners, all smiles. Bubbly sparkling water. Crack a smile.
JDSA Law is a proud sponsor of these local sports broadcasts. They've been serving North Central and Eastern Washington since 1946. For over 70 years, their team of dedicated professionals has delivered quality, innovative legal services. JDSA Law partners with you to provide the finest legal advice and support as you navigate your personal and business challenges, risks, and accomplishments. At JDSA Law, they salute our local athletes and wish them well on another excellent season of competition. Good to see you again. All right, we got about 3 minutes left in this program. Let's take you around the valley one more time. Now the sun is up and about. It got up at 5:11 this morning. Sunset tonight, 8:46. The days are getting long, and boy, they're going to get warm too. 15 hours and 35 minutes of daylight, and if you just joined us, we finally got to 80 degrees yesterday. May 26th, we finally did it. Took a long time to crack the 80-degree mark. Beautiful view from the Wenatchee Valley from our cross camera. We are off to camera number 2, which I believe is the Orondo Rock camera. There we are, zoomed back as we look at US 97 on the East Wenatchee side, or the east side of the Columbia River, which is still the way that the authorities are wanting you to go if you're heading up from the Wenatchee Valley to Chelan, or vice versa. They do not want you to take 97A on the west side of the Columbia River. There's a lot of slope stabilization work going on there. You're going to be delayed. Not a good idea. Hop over to the east side, over the BB Bridge, and you're in business. Camera number 3, and this is the one that blew me away this morning. Well, not that one. That's Cashmere. Yeah, I've seen Cashmere. Oh, heads up, I need to mention this again. Don't forget, you Cashmere folks, delays today and tomorrow. They're putting a new power line in at the intersection of the highway that you see there and Hay Canyon Road. Of course, as you know, they're tearing down the West Cashmere Bridge. They're going to replace it, and so they figured this would be a good time for the PUD to put in some power lines. So look for delays there at that intersection of Highway 2 and Hay Canyon Road. 15-minute delays possible today and tomorrow. Finally, are we going up to Lake Wenatchee? Yeah, that one I'm digging real cool. Ooh, man, we're going to use that one a lot. You can even, if you see to the far left, you can even see where they've done some clear cutting. In years past, where they've done some logging, you can tell by the change of the color, and you can see a few logging roads, Killer Glen Golf Course and Resort, and a beautiful view of beautiful Lake Wenatchee. That is a gorgeous view. We're going to use that one a lot, Megan, I can tell you that much. All right, let's do that forecast for you one more time. 85 today with gobs of gooey good sunshine, 54 for the overnight low tonight. We do it again tomorrow. Could crack 90 on Thursday, 61 for the overnight low. A couple of passing clouds. Notice how it says mostly sunny, not just plain sunny. Friday, I think we can safely call 95 hot. 65 for the overnight low on Friday. Then, because of the rapid warm-up, it's going to make things very unstable. Saturday, it's going to be muggy. We're going to get to 92 degrees, but no sunshine. But as the day progresses, especially late Saturday afternoon into Saturday night, we cannot rule out a thunderstorm. Showers are certainly going to be likely, but a thunderstorm on Saturday night with lightning and heavy rain is a possibility. Keep your fingers crossed. Sunday, we calm down a little bit. We'll have quite a bit of clouds Sunday morning, but quite a bit of sunshine on Saturday afternoon, and we cool way down from 92 to 75, and then back to the sunshine and mild temperatures on Monday and Tuesday. All right, that's it for us. Everybody have a fantabulous Wednesday. We will see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.